exciting yesterday, and we've got the playoffs today. I'm joined once again by the amazing, the wonderful Sky Knight. How are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. It's another three best of fives today, I believe.
Yes, it
Got
is. It
the
is.
semi-final, the lower final, and the grand final all coming in this stream today. But we're starting with a bit of a deja vu in our first matchup today.
Yes, absolutely. It's Team Alf versus Team Kirai in our first game, which is a best of five. All games are best of five today, and just initially, these two teams. Very strong lineups we saw yesterday. Obviously, a lot of USS talent in there. Some of the best universities sort of collected in Team Alf. And to be honest, I think after a good review after yesterday, I think they're now our sort of favourites to potentially go on and win this tournament. So if we have the rosters available, let's go and have a quick look to see who's playing for both teams. Team Alf, a lot of talent there. Sky, Power on the tank, Alf and Finfunge. Xylophone and Unknown on DPS, and then Void Kirai on DPS, Gligger on tank, Mudkip and Stumpy Penguin on support. So, two star-studded lineups. Oh, Spicy Bacon, just a quick little change there on support for Team Alf. But obviously, after yesterday, we did see that Team Alf sort of was the better team out of these two teams. But could Team Kirai sort of catch them a little bit off guard today, maybe?
I mean, I don't see why not. Like it was 3-1, I believe the final score was. The main problem that Team Kira had yesterday was the fact that Unknown would just lock Vendetta and kind of kill everyone. So they'll have to find a way to kind of navigate that a little bit because that was a very very big problem for them throughout the entire kind of tournament really. So they will have to try to figure out how to kind of deal with that. Yeah, I don't see why Team Kirai can't win this, but I'm still gonna think Team Alf it'll probably be another 3-1 win for Team Alf in the semi-final here.
Well, it's the bit of the underdogs versus the Titans situation, David versus Goliath. But I believe we do have a little bit of a sneak peek into our first map, and once again we are going to Lijiang Tower, our first control map of the day, and I like this map, Sky. Like we saw yesterday, we saw a wide variety of composition. I think Team Alf performed really, really well on this map yesterday. I think winning 2-0 in rounds. It was very, very sort of dominant by them. So, home favourite for them, let's say.
Yeah, I mean they look very good on King's Row. Aside from I remember the powers like
Yeah.
keyboard breaking. I remember that yesterday. Aside from that debacle, they looked very very good throughout the majority of Lijiang. It was a bit of a stomp to be honest. Team Kirai kind of looked like they weren't going to get a foot in the door. Then obviously we saw King's Row, the very next map, and they kind of bounced back after Vendetta was taken out the hero pool. But we'll have to see how they can do this time round on Lijiang, particularly with some of the bans that have gone through this time round, because Vendetta is banned right off the rip this time by Team Kirai. Meanwhile, Team Alf have removed Zarya from the equation. So maybe just looking to get a strong start for Team Kirai. You're burning that Vendetta ban really, really early, so that's quite a gamble. Kind of. I mean, it's kind of a gamble, but you really, really want to win this map now if you're Team
Yep.
Kirai. The Zarya ban by Team Alpha, I think it's quite good. We saw Power. We know he likes to play the Diva. We saw him on the Diva a lot yesterday, and he looked really, really good on it. So I think the Zarya ban is just unsurprising. It allows Power to really run the Diva on kind of any of the Lijiang points and get away with it just a little bit easier. It's it's a counter, but you can play around it, but it just makes life a little bit easier for your tank, which is never a bad thing in Overwatch.
Absolutely. Now, coming into this, both sets of teams, this is the upper bracket semi-final. So, the winner of this goes to the finals, and the loser goes down to the losers semi-final. So, both sets of teams starting off with a bit of the Ram Rush. Zafkiel hovering the Vendetta, which... No, not the Vendetta, the Venture, sorry. And, maybe gone back to the Genji. Both sets
unsurprising
of
to see
teams.
these comps. To
Yeah,
be honest, it's control
it's
center.
control. Yeah.
It's at Brawley Point. I honestly wouldn't be even surprised to see them both stay sim, but no, they're gonna go back into spawn. Well, Unknown will go back into spawn. Void will not, as they kind of start to get control for the server room here. But you see Unknown flanking round on the left, getting a good little angle quite early. But Team Kirai are gonna get the initial control of the map.
They are indeed, and Spicy Bacon's going to kick us off with Void going down. A nice little headshot onto them. Going to look to try and battle it out up here, but meanwhile, Zafkiel trades back, gets Elf. Will it be enough? Power is still alive, taking down Mudkip, and Zafkiel going to try and get the kill onto Spicy Bacon, which they do. Gligger still alive, trying to make stuff work, but they'll have to back away. And you know what? A very comfortable first point takeover for Team Alf.
Yeah, very comfortable for Team Alf there. They lost control of server room just a little bit, mainly because Team Kirai stuck with the sim, so they can hold areas just a little bit easier. But Spicy Bacon out of nowhere just gets 2 kills, massively helps the team, and then Unknown's off angle the entire time, manages to get a good flank onto the backline.
Both sets of teams looking to try and fight in the stairway here. Ligger trying to stay alive, needs to be a little bit careful. Spicy Bacon does a lot of damage. Manages to get away with 200 HP. Sort of a little bit split here. Unknowns on the flank.
Oh, the Vortex.
It's a nice Vortex. Full spawn ready. Can they get the stick? There it is! Doesn't land anyone. Power just takes down Stumpy Bacon before anything happens. But Power, gonna clean house, does manage to find 2. And it should be looking like Team Alf get another win. Team fight win. Team Kirai gonna have 27% on the board, so not bad for them. But Team Alf starting to stack ults now, Sky.
Yeah, Team Alf, they have the Annihilation ready to go. Finn is pretty much has his Kitsune, same with Spicy Bacon pretty much having his Noon. But Alf is still a little bit far away from the beat. Mudkip getting a little bit of a lead, but Finn starts us off with the Kitsune Rush.
Absolutely, and the Sim Barrier as well in response to that by Team Kirai. So the window as well, but the High Noon sort of maybe kite them away a little bit. Spicy Bacon, which is back away, 55% and counting.
Alf needs to get this beat before Zafkiel goes for the blade, because there's nothing stopping Team Kirai right now, but I don't think they know it. Mudkip uses the beat engage, and yep, they've realized it.
They have. Now they are just gonna beat in response, Elf. Both Ramatras still alive, still tanking a lot. Finfunge manages to find a kill onto Stumpy Penguin. Gonna get a second Finfunge. Meanwhile, Zafkiel's still alive. Finfunge trying to kite and does ever so well in the corner. And gets the TP away. And takes down Zafkiel. Excellent play, excellent kiting, excellent Kiriko play by Finfunge. Amazing stuff. Mudkip does get the dink onto Finfunge, however, though, is still alive. Trying to keep Spicy Bacon alive there is Elf, but they do get the flip. Team Kirai, 50% and counting. What
Finn
a
and
play.
Stumpy Penguin coming back on the rolls. Yeah, I mean, Zafkiel, I'm tilted if I'm Zafkiel. That was insane from Finn. The wall climb was insane. They just didn't kill Alf before he got the beat off there. But I think now both teams are probably just going to look to farm their ults for a little bit, unless something... okay, Zafkiel, be careful. Okay, Spicy Bacon just... Wow, I mean... I guess Mudkip didn't get with the memo. He just gets taken down by Spicy Bacon. Now Team Kirai maybe have to just kind of regroup a little bit, because we're approaching final fight territory. Something gets killed Stumpy Penguin.
Gets the beautiful clip. And another one. Unknown. On fire on this Tracer. Gets free. My word. 82% for Team Kirai, but it's in possession of Team Alpha at the minute. 85% and counting. Last fight territory. Gligger makes a very late swap onto the Arisa. Not sure how I feel about this. Kitsune Rush in the meantime, though. But look at this Ramatra ult. Going to get loads here. Loads of value. Tries to find a little bit more than that, but gets one. Spicy Bacon. Make it free at the end of that round. And a very close first round there by Team Alf coming out on top. Just some of the DPS play a little bit too broken for Team Kirai to sort of handle.
Yeah, I mean, Unknown and Spicy Bacon in that penultimate fight there. Spicy Bacon just gets to start with a kill onto Mudkip, and Unknown notices that now Stumpy Penguin has no peel from his main support. So he's just able to full commit onto the Baptiste, takes him down, and then moves onto the Sim, who has no heals from either of his supports. Easy couple kills for the Tracer. Unfortunate for Team Kirai there, though, but I think they need to just play a little bit slower. Team Alpha are playing more. They're both playing like a brawling style combat, especially with this Orisa. And considering they were playing the Sim, you could, if you want to play quick, you just need to play around the TP. But they weren't doing that, so then you need to bunker down. But they didn't do that either, which plays into Team Alf's maybe a higher level of pace with the Kiriko and with the Ram. Now that Gligger is staying on the Orisa. Zafkiel makes a swap to Pharah though.
Very
and Void, nice little pick onto Spicy Bacon.
Nice pick indeed, and Void gets another onto Power. Power falling really, really low there, just staring at Gligger, just melting their HP, but then Funge manages to get the bit of a revenge kill onto Void, and an instant Diva swap and Genji swap coming in for Team Elf. Unknown is still going to rocket on that Tracer. Just the harassment is so good, especially on the Baptiste.
I do like those swaps. Tracer can kind of harass the Pharah just a little bit, and of course Diva is quite frustrating to play against as a Pharah player. Spicy Bacon moving on to the Genji, yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. I think maybe Sojourn would be better to just try and pressure out Gligger just a little bit more so Power can get in a little bit easier. Stimpy Penguin coming up on the window though. Same with Void coming up on the noon. Alf really, really low. Immortality Lamp force though.
Does force the Immortality Field. Is destroyed. Looking a little bit on the flank. Boop.
Oh!
Hiding used in reverse, but it's not going to matter. Spicy Bacon's going to find one. Look to maybe get a little bit more. Elf gets the kill onto his counterpart Mudkip. And Power going to use them rockets to take down Zafkiel. A beautiful boot there by Elf. Good little bit of Lucio play.
You can't play near the edge if you're against a Lucio like that. But now Team Kirai, because they won the past couple fights, I think they're coming up on a couple of ults. They have Stimpy Penguin's window. They're close to Gligger's Terror Surge, but Team Alf somehow, despite swapping heroes after the first fight, they've got a few ults as well. Power has the self-destruct. Unknown has the Pulse Bomb. Alf.
Void has an angle. It's a nice Terror Surge, but the Kisuna Rush
The
is there. Excellent Immortality Field, but it's not going to be enough. Power's going to just walk in, find free. Spicy Bacon takes down Gligger. Power makes it 4.
Incredible
Starting to really get in the groove. Team Alf, once again, they have nearly 3 ults in the bank, but Team Kirai not out of it, though. They still have 2 ults to have the barrage, but they need to demech Power before they use it. Otherwise, it's going to be really, really difficult for them to sort of get any value from the barrage if it's just going to be eaten by that defense matrix.
Team Alf have to force out this beat so Spicy Bacon can get a nice blade, but Mudkip's holding it quite intelligently at the moment. Wonder if Spicy Bacon will just let it rip as soon as he gets it. Yeah, he will.
Genji played in. The counter beat is nice. Good play by Mudkip. Is low. The barrage. The damage dealt. Not going to be enough. The bomb, however, not going to find anything. Void does manage to find 2. Zafkiel's going to also find 2 as well. And it's going to be a reset for Power off the map. 55% and counting for Team Kirai. They have
going from a great fight. Going from a great fight for Team Alf to a terrible fight for Team Alf. They didn't force out the beat. Spicy Bacon just kind of blades into the beat, spends his whole time swinging at Lucio, who manages to elude him anyway. And they use 3 ults for Team Kirai's 2, and now there's nothing to really stop Stimpy Penguin, Gligger, and Boy building their ults.
Team Kirai looking very, very strong now. Oh, beautiful from Void. And gets the little dink, the body shot onto Spicy Bacon as well, 2 for him. Void coming in very clutch for Team Kirai in this second round on Garden. Now ult's built for Team Kirai. It's going to be hard for Team Alpha to contest. They have the Pulse Bomb, they have the Kisuna Rush. And they're going to Kisuna Rush immediately. Can they find something early on? The Terror Surge, not going to be that clutch. But Power is somehow going to find 2, make it 3. Spicy Bacon gets the dash onto Stimpy Penguin, and Spicy Bacon going to get the second kill as well. 3 for Power, 2 for Spicy Bacon, and they've turned that around after Team Kirai commits a lot of ults there. Not a good fight for them at all.
Not at all. Unknown has the Pulse Bomb. That's the only ult in the locker right now. Team Kirai have absolutely nothing unless Mudkip can somehow build the beat. Power can maybe build the bomb here. The pulse finds
The
nothing but the boom.
The move from Alf stops Gligger from getting onto the point, and that's not what you want to see in the kill feed of your Team Kirai. And my word, Team Alf, 2-0 once again. Wow. That, I'm poop of the day, says Power. But
My boot of the tournament, that was clutch from Alf right there. Because even though I do think Team Alf had the upper hand, the pulse bomb from Unknown went wayward, and it would have been on Power to actually build his self destruct for Team Alf to retain any kind of ult advantage. So well played by Alf, leading his team to victory on Lijiang there. But that was quite close, especially that second point, a lot closer than yesterday on this map. But like I said, if you're Team Kirai, that was your map that you had to win. You banned Vendetta on that map, and now Unknown is licking his lips. He's ready. All you really have in your locker is picking a map that Vendetta's bad on, but I don't know. That might be a little bit difficult.
it is, and like you said, it's just, you've sort of wasted a ban if you're Team Kirai. A really, really strong ban. So, Team Kirai, but they did look better. Like you said, they did look a lot better. It was a lot more closer, but it's just moments like that when they've got the advantage going into the last fight. You can't lose it there at all. Like, you've got 3 ults. The other team only had sort of 2, and you just can't waste it in times like that. What do they have to sort of do? Is it more of a overall sort of is it a comms issue? Is it like an overall strategy? Is it a fight planning issue? Or is it just...
I think part of it might be. I mean, we can see the scoreboard.
Yeah.
Looking at the scoreboard only tells half the story, but you can tell, like Gligger, you can tell he's struggling a little bit. Playing with this style of comp, playing this style of play, I don't think it suits him, to be honest. I think he'd just rather play. I think he maybe could have just stuck to the Ram, to be honest, because he went on the other side. It kind of felt like he was a bit, he was kind of missing on that map, and then it came down to players like Void, particularly in the final map or at the final point, who really clutched up, got a lot of clutch kills. But there's only so much you can do when there's just not a cohesiveness for the team. And that really existed for Team Alpha, in my opinion. Power was kind of able to do what he wanted, and that's because of how enabled he is by Finn and by Alf, and then obviously had Spicy Bacon and Unknown coming up with their own kills as well.
Now we do have, first off, let's see how they sort of change things around, if not adapt, in the second map, which is going to be Rialto. A very nice map there. I think we did sort of see this map yesterday. Not by these two teams, I don't believe. So let's sort of see how they settle into this one. And it's going to be, our next set of bans coming up. Who do you ban here if you're sort of... Oh, well, they've already been revealed, but...
Well, I can't answer that. Yeah, we've been spoiled on the who we're banning. It's Farah ban for Team Alf, quite like that, and Ram ban for Team Kirai. So
okay.
The Farah ban, I quite like it. Zafkiel, I remember yesterday, Zafkiel
really
looked
good.
quite good on the Farah. Yeah, I remember that. The Ram ban, I mean, sure, like, I guess Power can play the Ram. He's good on the Ram. It's a fine ban, although, like I said, I would have liked to just seen Gligger continue to take the mirror, because I think he was honestly, like, on Control Center, I don't think it was even his fault, like, the mirror wasn't going too well. Like, I think that was a bit of a comp issue on the first point, and then it became a comp issue on the second point, just because he was on the Orisa. It's a counter into Ram, you can spear him at block and all that, but at the same time, Power can just make the swap to D.Va. I don't know. I maybe would have looked to ban D.Va on this map, because of how well Spicy Bacon was playing, because now I can imagine Power will just go D.Va and hold right click over his DPS and win. I think D.Va was maybe a bit of the better ban this time round, but I don't necessarily hate the Ram ban. It's fine. Like, it's just fine, but I don't think it gives Team Kirai the leg up that they kind of need. But what does give them the leg up is the map choice. Rialto is a bit longer range, so it's a bit hard to play Vendetta, and we saw that yesterday in the game between Team Timidflow and Team Joby. Synax, who was a standout performer on Team Timidflow, often running the Vendetta was on the Echo on Rialto. Even Elliot, who was kind of like the Vendetta guy for Team Joby, was forced off of Vendetta at certain points, even going to the Freya of all things at the end of Team Timoflow's attack. So I think the map choice is very good. It suits. I know Mudkips likes playing the Alari, Stimpy Penguin likes playing the Bat, so I think this map suits what they want to do. It's just I wish they would have banned out just a little bit better.
Now both sets of teams, Unknown hovering that Vendetta,
Unsurprising.
Zafkiel on the Echo. Let's sort of see how they set it up, and the Sigma as well. Gligger, I think that's a nice sort of
very pokey comp.
Oh, immediately taking the high ground there is Vendetta. The D.Va able just to sort of contest people present on the high ground. Exy falling a little bit low. Oh my goodness, Unknown and Finfunge. What is this flank? You love to see it, and the damage is there.
No
Does
way.
he fly away? Yeah, Unknown. Oh my goodness. You can fly away, Echo, but you can't fly away from the Sword Lady, and she's just gonna keep on going. Unknown. My word. Very low. Still alive, by the way. My word. What a flank from Unknown. And this is why you don't waste that Vendetta ban so early on. Because this is just going to be a rough rest of the series if Unknown continues fine form like this on the Vendetta. Power. Just trying to push the point. They already have the first point. 5 minutes 18 on the board. Zafkiel needs to be pretty careful, but Mudkip takes down Unknown.
Missed it that time on Zafkiel. You can't fool him once, you won't fool him twice. Manages to evade the upward sword slam down combo, where it's really, really talented, where they just press the sword button and then they press left click and one shot you. Team Kirai, they have a few ults available. Stimpy Penguin has the window, Gligger has the flux. But the Tidal Blast is available for Alpha onto Unknown.
Oh, it's just disgusting. It's going to keep on going.
What? Nah, that's not legal.
Okay, it does secure the kill, but then again, Exy does manage to find free, so it's a bit to no avail. They need to find a solution to this Unknown Vendetta. I mean, it's just all the time. No fear from Unknown. Unknown's like, well, I can go here, I can go there, I can dash and kill all your backline. Like, who's gonna stop me? Is exactly the mindset they have.
I don't think this comp's the answer from Team Kirai, because we just saw there, Unknown just went on the backline, killed Stimpy Penguin, and then killed Mudkip. There's not much you can really do about that with this backline, to be honest. And look at this ult, there's nothing you can do about this either.
The damage is there, but it's not going to be enough to secure a kill. But the D.Va swap just in time by Zafkiel needs to get out in order to sort of stay alive. The bomb available for power, a little bit low. And they're going to have the Kitsune Rush and the Bob as well. It's all sort of hands forward here. But meanwhile, Power does manage to secure a kill on Mudkip. Gligger and Zafkiel. For Team Kirai manages to get two. But Power, what a beautiful place. Bomb manages to find Void. No Ash in the fight for Team Kirai, but it's not going to be enough. Gligger on the Sigma does manage to find free there. Good play from them. A very good fight there for Team Kirai.
Yeah, that went very, very well for Team Kirai. I think Team Alpha, they just got a little bit too overconfident. They used 3 ults that fight. That's a very, very economic fight for Team Kirai. Unknown getting jumped a little bit, but manages to get the block damage resist. And now Gligger has Flux again. Able to maybe use it in this choke. Try burst down the Vendetta or even the D.Va. Get them out of the fight early. Oh, the rock lands.
It does
Alpha
land.
has the Tidal Blast, which could just go into Unknown. We saw how much it did last time. Stimpy Penguin maybe needs to take a bit of a proactive window just to try to dissuade their push before it even starts.
Oh, Unknown caught in the back line. Stimpy Penguin just getting a little bit of revenge after the previous sort of deaths, and Mudkip's going to find 2. The Iyari pick is quite interesting here because Mudkip seems to be getting quite a lot of value on it.
It's interesting, but it is so dependent on Mudkip, like, kind of having the game of his life.
Yeah.
I quite like playing Alari. She's like probably my best hero. She's so difficult to play in this kind of situation, particularly into the Diva and the Kiriko and the Vendetta. It's difficult to actually succeed on. So Mudkip's landing a couple of nice shots, but the Tidal Blast
does manage to get the damage off, and it's disgusting, but it's a nice Gravitic Flux. Does get the D-Mech. Can they secure a kill? No. Well, yes, they can, because Mudkips use the Yari blast, but the Bob used just in time for Zafkiel. And it'll be Team Kirai sort of settling on this second point defense.
4 ults used, though. All ults in the Team Kirai ult bank, aside from Void's Bob coming up in about 25%, have been used, and Finn has the Kitsune Rush, as well as Unknown and Exi coming up on their ults as well. Team Alf, they can just stack 4 ults here and maybe look to get a push, because this part is the hardest part of the map for their comp, and it's the best part of the map for Team Kirai, I would say. Too far away, too long distance, but Gligger's under so much pressure already. Forced to back up as Finn starts with the Kitsune Rush.
Needs to be a little bit careful. That Vendetta is
Look at this Vendetta! Oh my goodness!
Oh, it just gets melted. But could it be winnable here for Team Kirai? Maybe so. Zafkiel manages to find Exi in the meantime. Needs to deal a little bit of damage to Unknown. Unknown still full HP.
Goodbye.
Oh, tries to get the beam off, but it's not going to be enough. Unknown slashes Zafkiel. 2 minutes on the clock for Team Alpha to push it to the third checkpoint of the map.
Only needed the Kitsune Rush to do so as well, which is quite good. The early pressure on the Gligger was just so strong. What a kill by Unknown there as well. Kill onto Void. Maybe got a bit too greedy, but it's fine. You know, your team's just pushing the cart at the moment. As long as power doesn't get demet and can get out easily, Team Alpha can just take a fight with 4 ults. Finn is coming up on this Kitsune Rush again, but oh, the bomb is forced. He gets demet. That's not too ideal. The second life for power is gone. Could be worse though. They still have the Sundering Blade, the Bob, and the Tidal Blast, which has been burned as Unknown dug right in.
It could be big.
Oh!
Oh my word! It's absolutely disgusting. No need for the ult there. Just goes in. Excellent Tidal Blast from Alf onto Unknown, and once Unknown's in, there's no escape.
Turns the Tidal Wave into a tsunami, stunning 3 people with the Tidal Blast there. And he still has the Sundering Blade, which he's going for now as the copy comes out by Zafkiel, but he gets knocked down.
Excellent play by Gligger. Zafkiel manages to find a kill onto Unknown. The Yari Blast is there.
Oh, the Suzu.
Oh, the cleanse too good. I was going to say it caught free, but great Suzu there by Finfunge, but good discipline though by Finfunge, holding on to that Kitsune Rush for the last fight of the game. Void needs to try and farm this Bob as quick as possible.
They need to start the fight early. They have the ult advantage. They know that they can just walk Team Kirai down and there's nothing they can do about it. But now Void is building this Bob, only 30% away. Might be able to get it online before Team Alpha actually decide to take the initiative. Mudkip has no pile on that. Might seem like nothing, but that's a big source of healing gone. As Finn gets to start with the Kitsune Rush. And Zafkiel's 1 HP.
Zafkiel's 1 HP and Zafkiel does go down. Power manages to find Void in the meantime, as well as Gligger does fall. Unknown's going to find 2. Make it 3. Unknown is just going to clean house. And in overtime, Team Alpha managed to get it all the way. Now, Team Kirai, their defense really improved in that second round. But what will their offense look like?
You can maybe run this poke comp on offense. I think it's a little bit weaker, but it's not necessarily like unplayable, to be honest. Especially if you have Mudkip playing as well as he was on the Alari. Felt like he was able to put out a ton of pressure. Zafkiel as well on that Echo was finding so much value, but he still have the Unknown problem where he is just diving into your whole team. To put it into percent, Unknown is diving into the whole team melee range, and he is somehow 16-7. Like it is insane how he's only died 7 times, and that makes it sound like he's insane. Like he's not. Well, he kind of is, but like he can. That's the most ridiculous part. He can just go into the entire enemy team, get 2-3 kills, then leave. Gonna be running it on the defense here. I don't mind that. Vendetta, you can kind of hold down an area and deny a lot of space, similar to how you can on Venture. You can just kind of control an area, which will be very good against Team Kirai, particularly Zafkiel, on that second part of the map, in my opinion, because to progress through, you need to kind of go through a tight space. So unless Zafkiel goes up and over, there's not much he can really do. Gligar sticking with the Sigma and then going for the Bapillary backline. Void now on the Sojourn. I like that pick a little bit more than what he was on before. I think it was the May. Maybe he was just trolling his team to wall them out spawn or something. Team Alpha not really making any changes. I don't think they have to. I think they've got quite a good core going on. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But Team Kirai, I think they might struggle with this comp a little bit more on attack unless the individual prowess of some of the players on their team really starts to shine through.
Zafkiel taking a bit of a wide angle. Mudkip falling a little bit low thanks to that dynamite damage. They are just going to keep pushing it though. Power to try and contest point. But taking a lot of poke damage. The poke is just so strong for the minute at Team Kirai that Power can't really sit there on point and contest. It's very difficult for them.
He doesn't need to, though. You can just kind of hold the... It's like a big wall you can kind of create. You don't need to aggress onto them too much. You can kind of just sit there and chill and build your support ults, but they need to be careful not to get picked in the meantime as Alf. Getting a little bit too undisciplined and dropping very low, which forces Power to surrender some space. As Unknown tries to make up the difference, but he's dropping very, very low. Void on the other side as well. No!
Oh, shut down by Void.
The multiple angles there by Team Kirai were very, very strong. And Team Alf, they just forgot where to play. You don't have to be too crazy. You don't have to go for too much damage. They're playing a poke comp. They will outrange you. They'll outdamage you. So unless you can maybe land a couple miracle shots as Xe, or maybe just a couple of random kunai, or a couple of random water shots from Alf, there's no reason to try to take that fight with them. But Team Alf kind of forgot that. Now Power makes a swap onto the Winston to try to play a lot quicker with the rock. Suzu Forest Unknown manages to escape.
It's good play by that. Gligar on the Sigma is definitely having a lot better impact than what they were on the Orisa in the first map, but
that's the Flux available as well. Surprising go for there because there's no Suzu on the board, but Team Alpha have 3 ults ready to go. Team Kirai have 4, coming up on 5. Mudkip basically has the captive sun, and there it is. Lamp forced by Unknown though.
Winston, in the meantime though, swap for Power. The Tidal Blasters go in, and here we go. It's the Power show. The dive from the Winston as well. It's...
you put Tidal Blast on Vendetta or Winston, it doesn't even matter who at this point.
No.
You can just jump into the whole team and kill everyone. Particularly when it's a Bapillary backline and the Bap doesn't have Immortality Field because it got forced by Unknown before. That was very good by Team Alf. Team Kirai, even though they are playing a longer range comp, they can win close up if needed. Alari does have that shift to Gao, a dodge. Bap's regenerative burst and the lamp can provide a lot of instant value, same with Gligar's rock, but if you're able to force those cooldowns out before you fully commit to the engage, then you can really take advantage. But now, Unknown can go free kill.
Xe manages to find Void in the meantime, and this Bob is gonna find Gligar as well.
The Bob looked a lot better than it was.
Yeah.
Just killed 2 Constructables. 3 ults still online for Team Kirai though. Gravitic Flux, Captive Sun, and Window.
Void on the Widow. Very interesting. Oh,
look at the Sundering Blade though. Has to dodge the rock though.
Does dodge the rock. But the Yari. Oh, it could be huge. It could be very big. It can be very big. A nice combination there from Team Kirai. And Gligar is going to find 2. Zafkiel's going to find Alpha as well. And they're just going to look to try and push this as far as possible. 2 minutes 40 on the board for Team Kirai. They did use a fair bit. Zafkiel 50% to the copy, and Stampy Penguin still has a hold of that window. Only the Primal Rage from Power at the minute. Unknown getting a little bit low. As Zafkiel takes him down, Unknown falls. Void a little bit low, needs to be careful. There is a Winston on you.
He doesn't care.
Does not care, but Power manages to find a kill to Stampy Penguin. Make it 2. Nice little Primal Rage here. Can he get the juggle onto the Widowmaker? Let's see. Xe does find Mudkip instead. It's going to be Void falling. A little bit of a stagger there.
Power that fight. Complete MVP zoned basically the entirety of Team Kirai, and then the rest of Team Alf were just able to take down Gligger, drop him 1 HP, and then Power comes back for the kill. Needs to be careful though, because he doesn't have Primal this time, but Alf does have the Tidal Blast, which could be
Ooh,
used to extend the dive.
Xe finds
Oh.
Stumpy Penguin, but Power is going to kill Gligger in the meantime. Oh, needs to be really, really careful here. Alf, under pressure by the Echo. Zaskiel does take, well, no, does fall to Xe.
Xe's doing great on this map. Unknown getting a lot of the DPS glory, I feel, for Team Alf, but can't forget the contributions of Xe, particularly on this second point. Is so good for Ashe. You can kind of just fire down range. Alf needs to be careful, though. Needs to make sure he has the Russian torrent available, but he does have the Tidal Blast available onto Unknown. Gets killed to Stimpy Penguin. Lamp Force as well. Power continues. It gets killed to Mudkip. And Unknown is just able to get out. No! Push him down into the water.
Power gets the final blow onto Gligger. And I must say, it's just that combination of Alf's Tidal Blast onto Unknown. There's just nothing you can really do. But they have stacked some ults, Team Kirai. Obviously, the Widow Sight's not going to be the most impactful unless they can get a couple picks with it.
Don't peek for no reason, guys.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that was very close. Unknown?
Unknown does go down. Bob falls off the map.
Oh no.
Xe, and it's not ideal. Gligger is low, and Void takes him down. The copy onto Gligger from Zaskiel.
Oh, you're not Korean.
Something here. No Miro sort of play like yesterday, but they do have some ults still in the bank. They have the combination of the Iari and the Sigma ultimates available. Needs to be sort of big. Primal Rage nearly online. Does a very defensive sort of ult here. The Primal Rage available for Power, and he's going to use it. Oh, and it's going to be Unknown. Manages to get the slash onto Mudkip. Will it be enough? Mudkip does manage to find Unknown with the kill. That healing pylon is still available, but can it keep Gligger alive? No. Finfunge comes in to get the kill onto Zaskiel. It's going to be a 2-0 lead in this series for Team Alf. Very well fought defense there on that second point, but it's just, it's not falling into line for Team Kirai.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, that compound offense, that second part of the map.
Ooh.
You got to go through a very tight area, and that can be quite difficult. It was looking okay for Team Kirai when they kind of trolled. They kind of just went in a little bit different times. Unknown jumped in. Sorry for the little dog cameo in the background. She's just rooting around my room. But Kirai, or Team Kirai, unable to just fully take advantage of that with a couple clutch plays, particularly from Power, I think, with the primals. Very, very strong primal usage throughout basically the entire defense, to be honest. They look very, very good. But even when you get a good map, Unknown is still able to just go in on Vendetta and cause an absolute ruckus on your team. Like, there's not much you can really do about it. They tried the poke comp, they tried to stop the fight before it was even really happening, but not much you can really do when they all just commit to going in anyway, especially on that second part of the map. Like I said, you can just kind of hole up, you can kind of rat it out, wait for them to come to you, really. Get a little bit of poke, because you do have Xe, who was somehow single-handedly out-poking the entirety of Team Kirai on the Ashe alone. But, I don't know, it's looking good for Team Alf here. I think maybe, my prediction yesterday was actually for the game today. It might be coming true.
Yeah.
Could be a 3-0.
It could potentially be a 3-0, and it could be a very easy path to the finals for Team Alpha. Obviously, beating Team Joby in the sort of round one of the playoffs, and they have sort of played pretty much some of the better teams in this tournament, and they've just dominated. They've sheerly dominated, and they hold a 2-0 lead in this series, and I believe we are going to go to our next map, which will be King's Row. And I think that's a map that sort of favors Team Kirai. After yesterday, they can sort of play that Pharah composition as well, which they were really, really good on, but the momentum is just driving all the way for Team Alpha at the minute. So will they get a map from this? Will they sort of turn it around? we'll have to see.
I don't know. Important thing to remember about the Kings Row yesterday was that Vendetta was banned on Kings Row. So now that Vendetta's already been banned, it was used on Lijiang, which they lost. Not much. That's one advantage of Kings that is now gone that they had yesterday. So a little bit a little bit trickier for Team Kirai this time around.
What would you sort of look to ban here, Sky? Obviously, the Ramatra ban last game. What would you sort of look to take away in this game?
If I'm Team Kirai, I don't know. They've not really liked playing too much of the D.Va, so I'd maybe get rid of the D.Va. That could be fine. D.Va's fine on Kings Row. You can play it. You can maybe get rid of the Kiriko. I know that Finn is finding a ton of value, to put it lightly, and there goes the Kiriko.
Yes,
by Team
good ban.
Kirai. I'm not too surprised by that. I think that's one of the two bans that I'd probably go for. Team Alf, on the other hand, I think you can just ban anything and you'll still win. Not to be blunt, I think the Reaper ban, that's fine. Void on the Reaper was finding a lot of value, and the Zarya is available for Gligger. He could just lock the Zarya and play the Zarya Reaper, but that's now been taken off the board by Team Alf. But the Pharah is still available for Zafkiel if he wants to go for that. But like I said, Vendetta was banned on King's Row last time, and that's when Team Kirai got the win. Sorry, but now Vendetta is still available, and this is a decent map for Vendetta. And I fear we're going to be seeing Unknown's name in the kill feed quite a lot this game.
Absolutely, and Team Kirai, this is the time to dig deep. If you want to get straight into the finals, you have to turn this series around. But nonetheless, there is a second chance for them to meet again in the finals. Obviously, the losers bracket is there. So if Team Kirai do lose this match, they do go down into the losers semi-finals, where they'll play one of the teams, either Team Joby or Team Timid Flow. Two very good teams in Group B. So we'll have to see what sort of happens there. But, it's not over yet for Team Kirai. They still have time in this tournament to sort of turn it around. And we are going to see the Zarya being hovered here for Team Kirai. And they're going to lock it in. And it's going to be Zafkiel on that Pharah like we saw yesterday. The pretty similar comp. Power, I don't believe, will stay on the Hog. The Lifeweaver from Alf, probably just to get up to the top part of the spawn on the high ground. We'll lock in the Ramatra.
Not surprising, Ramatra. It's you can play Ramatra quite easily on this map. I'm surprised to see Gligger not go for the Sigma again. He looked really good on the Sig, especially considering this Reaper's ban. But I mean, it's fine. They don't have to go for it. The Juno Wu Yang backline, I understand that. They want to keep Mudkip on a strong damage-dealing character. I think look very good on Alari. Will probably look very, very good on Wu Yang. But I think we could have seen the Snippy Penguin back on defense here. Team Kirai holding the high ground quite nicely. It might be difficult to get charge, especially as Void manages to roll out a dodge there away from Power. But Team Alpha is just going to be looking for some early ult building, I think, to try and get some percentage for Finn, but they're already making progress on point.
They are indeed. A tick available for Team Alf. They're not really contesting that much Team Kirai. Someone has to drop to sort of contest. Still, just a lot of fighting in this top part of the map. Stumpy Penguin on this Juno, just trying to keep everyone afloat. But it's going to be Void that drops to sort of contest, and it's going to be in vain. Spicy Bacon does manage to contest. Wu Yang is still alive, but look at the positioning of Spicy Bacon. He's in that corner, being an absolute nuisance, and it's a cakewalk for Team Alf. Just managing to just walk onto point freely, get 2 ticks, and once you've got 2 ticks there, Team Alf, all you have to do is just force Team Kirai down, and once they did so, Void taken immediately out, and it's looking very, very, very shaky on this defense so far early on.
And yeah, I mean, you're safe and sound in that high ground, but at the same time, you're not doing anything. You're
Yeah.
not really contesting the point, and then your Cassidy drops. I don't know whether that was on purpose or it was a misstep from Void, but I mean, either way, he gets taken down with ease. Unknown. I mean, he basically didn't even do anything in that fight. It was basically a 4v5 because he couldn't really reach them. They were all just sitting on the high ground. He's got 38% ult charge, but Finn has his ult ready to go, and there's no other ult really online right now. Mudkip getting close.
He's
Has
trying to get
ready
the
to go.
charge.
Use it on Glinger.
There we go. Just have to try to
Oh, this
blast.
could be huge.
Just
Oh, the
try and
boom!
walk in. Oh, the boot is beautiful from Elf. High Noon.
The speed move.
AB. Oh, manages to
Oh.
find Mudkip in the back. No hiding, son. Zafkiel takes down Spicy Bacon in the meantime. Also takes down Finn Funge, but will it be enough? Still alive, though. Could they get the kill onto Lucio? Yes, he does. Zafkiel on this Farah. Needs to sort of live. Needs to be a little bit careful. Is low HP. Could potentially be chased down. Needs to run.
Stand still, run!
It's a
Like,
horror
no.
unknown.
Why did he
Does
stop
chase-
running?
Does chase down Zafkiel, but it's really, really good timing though. Team Kirai are back on the point already.
What a bubble.
What a bubble indeed. It's a nice Graviton Surge. Does manage to trap the Ramatcha in the ult, but to no avail as Power still manages to find Void. But Zafkiel does come back, does find Alpha in the meantime, but Spicy Bacon is still alive. Gonna find two. Finn Funge is gonna find the third in that fight as well. Zafkiel going down. Unknown, just a walk in the park for them. It's Unknown's world and we're just living in it.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much they can really do now that... Oh, you can do that, though. Oh, my goodness, what a boot from
Oh.
Zafkiel. That's awkward. Didn't
That is
have
a
the
little
E
bit-
available to get back up to safe ground. And now the only ult online for Team Alpha is off the table, and Zafkiel does have the barrage. There's no beat to really try to sustain it. No Diva to matrix it. And maybe no Grav needed, because Gligger did use it in the last fight. Forced the beat from Alf. But now Unknown's back, and it feels like Team Kirai have just kind of waited for the 5v5 rather than taking the
Do
advantage.
have the ult available. The damage is there. It secures the kill
Oh,
onto Gligger. No bubble can defend the amount of damage that produces. And Void does go down. Caught up in no man's land. Ult still online for Team Alf. The High Noon and the window. 3 minutes and 40 seconds.
they even
Left
touch
on the
him,
time
barely.
bank. But they do manage to get the touch. The Malga swap immediately, though. Stumpy Penguin does manage to find Spicy Bacon in the meantime, though. Finn Funge takes down Gligger, and a bit of a... really no one to sort of contest there, but Team Alf very comfortable on that first attack. 3 minutes 35 in the time bank. Team Kirai needs to sort of find something here on this offense if they want to have a chance at tying this game. It could potentially have been a Charlie 9. I saw Zafkiel leap onto Finn Funge, but a potential C9. We'll have to get a bit of a replay later, proper hardcore replay code, and not to mention
Investigate
Bell's
whether
fish
that
and
was-
chips. Yeah, I think it
investigate
could have been a C9. I think because I did see Zafkiel like chase Finn Funge, but I'm not sure if there was someone else there that could have been on point that sort of leapt off it for a second.
Maybe. I don't know. Either way, they were not winning that fight, I think.
No.
I think that was kind of doomed. Yeah, I don't know. Team Kirai, I feel like they're floundering. I feel like they're a bit all over the place. I mean, the biggest question I have was at the very start. I think them holding on the high ground there. I don't know who came up with that idea, but I don't think again. I don't know what the thought process was there at all. They just surrendered the entire map. You're not even playing the Sigma either, so you can't even control the high ground too well. Power just bullied them back to the back corner of the high ground. It felt like they could do nothing. Spicy Bacon was allowed to progress so much. I don't know. I really didn't like that strategy from Team Kirai, and I don't like their strategy either. The Weaver Maga. I don't know what's going on here, but I don't like it.
I think desperation calls for desperate measures. I mean, it's... I guess it is. I mean, hey, it's working so far. Zafkiel manages to get one. The Malga slams into the room very, very deep. Needs to try and find a kill. Does get the opponents very, very low. The slam could be big.
There
Gets
we go.
two. The Malga coming in clutch.
The secret answer.
Potentially, I mean, seems a little bit more confident, a little bit more aggressive. I like the Mei as well. The double projectile DPS, though, is always a risk, but it seems to be working so far for Team Kirai.
Mei can kind of fill the role of a bit of a hit scan in a weird way because the amount of damage that Mei does do with that right click. Obviously not quite the same as a cast Sojourn or Ashe or Freya or something along those lines, but the more the Mei can find that amount of value, it can be very, very successful. Mudkip on this Weaver though, I really don't know what the strategy is here. Maybe he just didn't know who to play aside from that, but Zafkiel coming up on the barrage, but Finn has the window already.
Indeed, the stamp does go in, but immediately taken out. Not the best of plays, running straight into a Baptiste window. Spicy Bacon manages to find two, and they make it free, and they're just gonna look to back away here. Team Kirai.
I mean, when Unknown's maybe struggling a little bit versus this comp, Spicy Bacon's there to pick up the slack. He's been a consistent performer. Both the hit scans, either Xe and Spicy Bacon, have been so consistent at picking up the pieces when their team needs a little bit of help. And now Team Alf have a few ults coming online. They have the Annihilation very, very soon. They have the Noon, but the Blizzard from Void and the barrage incoming. Oh!
The barrage is huge. Manages to find one, but taken down in the process. Gligger is very, very deep. Needs to back away. It doesn't. Is taken down by Power.
His own Mei wall, I feel like, was the biggest defense against that Blizzard by Zafkiel right there. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication or something. As Team Alpha just now able to wrap up a few kills. Unknown, careful, don't get too silly. Now Unknown has the Sundering Blade, and this is such a good point for it because you can just kind of hold the choke, or hold one of the chokes with your ult, as it's just a big area denial that Team Kirai can't walk through. They don't have much CC at all, really, unless Unknown uses the ult on the ground, but Team Gligger going in, or Gligger on Team Kirai with the cage fight.
Does force
already
VP
destroyed
from Alf, but immediately taken out. So much damage output. This poor Life Weaver getting absolutely harassed in the backline. Unknown a little bit low. The poke from the Mage just being so annoying. Zafkiel finds two. They need to take down this Ramatra, but he's still alive. Power manages to punch Zafkiel to death. And Gligger is just going to take a little bit of space. Void getting the final kill onto Power. A little bit of a stagger there, but they do commit a fair bit in that fight, Team Kirai. Rest in peace, Flawless, says Power.
Was he deathless up until then? Oh my goodness.
I think he was.
Well, he's gonna be able to pop off here because he does have the Annihilation. Finn has the window as well. This Weaver backline, I mean, it's been seen in pro play just a little bit. Maybe not with a Marga, but you can kind of survive very well on it with a Blizzard.
Huge. And it's gonna be manages to find one onto Alf. Doesn't really get the freeze directly on to Power, but this is why I think they've gone with they went with the sort of Malga, the stuns.
He's losing 1v1 to a DPS.
No, he's losing the 1v1.
No way.
My word.
Goodness. What a disgusting hero.
Zafkiel used the barrage, but it's to no avail.
The window from Stimpy Penguin needs to be massive here. Picks up one. Power's going to have the Nemesis form back in a minute, though. Oh. Managed to get it.
Needs to be a little bit careful, though. Oh, nearly gets the last little bit of damage onto Unknown. They're still fighting this here. They've kept the progress. They haven't given up space. Void still alive. A great Mei wall. Unfortunate not to slow down the Lucio speed, though, as that's what really gets Power out of there. But it's going to be to no avail. The Life Weaver tree is there. Going to be so much healing now on point. It's going to be very difficult. Gligger finds two. Void does a bit of damage with the ice block. Finds two. And it's going to be Team Kirai. Still pushing the payload here. 2 minutes and 50 seconds on the board. Gligger has the Malga cage. Unknown does have that blade. And
Blade is such a good counter to the cage fight because it can just do so much damage to it. That's how it got destroyed so quickly last time. But speaking of getting destroyed, the backline of Team Kirai just gets ran over by Power and Alf right there. Unable to really do much as Void is zoning the high ground with that major perk. Oh, Zafkiel, you have to be careful of the gap.
Does so much damage.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness.
The cage fight gets cancelled!
No.
What
Gligor.
was that? Is he swapping? He has to be swapping. He has to be swapping.
There's no way. No.
What?
God, it was intended. Not
That's
ideal from Gligor there.
insane.
Potentially. I mean,
Maybe he thought more of his team were alive.
Yeah.
It happens to the best of us, but that's not what you need right now if you're Team Q right now. They only have 2 ults really online. Stimpy Penguin close, but now unknown. With the Sundering Blade, goodbye,
it's
Stimpy
beautiful.
Penguin.
Finds one with it. But
Massive
the matrix
beat.
is kind of huge, but the beat is even bigger. Unknown manages to find 2, and Finfunge gonna get the kill onto Void. It's looking pretty dire now. A minute 33 on the board. It can maybe aim for the draw, but the defense of Team Alpha is so strong. They're cycling ultimates so well. Nearly 3 online here, nearly the high noon. The Power and Power's ultimate and Finfunge have theirs in the bank as well. Void, both windows being used. Manages to find Unknown. The stun is there. Excellent bit of Malga play to isolate Power in the corner there, but unlucky not to get the high ground there, but there are still ults online.
Ooh, the little flank.
Could be quite nice.
The barrage could be huge here. It needs to be huge. 2 ults online for Team Alpha. The Noon and the Annihilation. The Annihilation is so good for overtime fights because you can just control an area, but the barrage maybe looking for the flank here. Could go for it.
Oh, beautiful.
Alpha. Oh!
Damage, but it's in a really poor position. Power a little bit low, does go down. They're still trying to push this here. Spicy Bacon does have that Malga.
Oh!
Pocket does manage to secure the kill. It's a nice May freeze on point. Alf goes down, and it's going to be Team Kirai pushing this all the way. They have a minute in the bank. But Team Alf also gain a minute. 4 minutes and 23 seconds for them. It's very, very, very close, this King's Row game. Team Kirai trying to give it their all, but a minute in the clock versus 4 minutes. It's not ideal.
It's a tall task for Team Kirai, but their original offense, if you remember, was actually quite good.
It was.
They got into the first point very, very quickly, but I think that might be partly because I don't think Team Alpha expected them to come out on the Batweaver Morga comp, if I'm being brutally honest. And now they'll probably see it coming. Unknown got picked off right at the start of Team Alpha's defense, and I think he'll maybe play a little bit safer, a little bit wiser this time round. Power on the Diva now can deny some of the value from Zafkiel and Gallagher, and we gotta look at the scoreboard. I mean, it's crazy to say that this is a bit of a quieter game from Unknown, even though he's still 22-7. Like, he's still going absolutely ballistic. But if we look at Team Kirai Gligor on this Mog, he's finding a lot of value, finding a lot of kills. Same with Stimpy Penguin on this map. I think he's doing quite a lot on this pick. But we'll have to see if Team Kirai can really keep themselves afloat in our upper bracket semi-final at the moment, lest they go down to the losers final, where they'll get a second chance against one of our Group B teams. Rotating around the right side of the statue. Trying to get some early positioning and force Power back, maybe. You want to control as much space as you can with this comp, and the main wall helps you do that.
Good stun. Unknown is in and manages to live. Does get the kill. It's going to be Power chasing down Mudkip. Spicy Bacon does get the initial first kill onto Void. Just overall good play there. Very well coordinated sort of.
Oh, barely lives. Strong defense there by Team Alpha. That's what I'm saying. Unknown plays a little bit safer. Doesn't get picked and then can just be a threat. He can hold space in the fight that time. Doesn't even need to do too much damage. We see he's only got 30% ult charge. Needs to be careful not to get picked early here, though.
Needs to get a foot on the point, and they need to be a little bit careful. Are they going to touch point?
Barely.
Oh, just in time. Overtime hit. But Gallagher is low. Needs to sort of live. Gets the swipe onto Zafkiel. Power gets 2. Has the bomb available. Not going to live this. Finds 3. Beautiful bit of Diva play. And as Diva says, they're slightly cooked.
Yeah. Uh, it's not looking good for Team Kirai. I don't know.
Nope.
You got to defend this point. Team Alpha have gained time. That is never what you want to see when you're defending. 4 minutes 21 to cap a third of Kings Row first. If this ends in a draw somehow, I think this may be the greatest defense performance ever in the history of Overwatch. But I don't really see Team Kirai pulling that off, to be honest. Particularly how their first point defense went last time, where they went for that cute little high ground strategy. It didn't work, and oh, okay, have they given up or
Oh.
something? I've seen a Junkrat have
Oh.
mercy. This is this is a comp. It's a competitive
It is.
team comp. It looks like, I feel.
Bastion. Okay.
Bastion swap, okay. Team Elf. Maybe got a little bit silly themselves. Weaver, Zen. I think the Weaver's just there for the platform. Yeah. The Doom though, that's interesting.
Power Doom.
Powerful.
Spicy Bacon on the Widowmaker. And he probably look to try and get an initial pick on the Mercy. That's probably the way to sort of go.
Who's Mudkip pocketing here? Like Zafkiel, I guess.
I
Yeah,
think
Zafkiel.
yeah, the Bastion.
Gligger's aura farming in the
Hiding.
corridor. Poor
Oh,
Void.
mate.
He's just kind of left on his own. Oh, there we go. Team's there.
Oh, it's a nice punch. Instant.
Oh,
Charges up immediately. Zapkiel, though, does get the kill into Unknown. With the damage boost, able just to melt away Vendetta. Yeah, power's going to make the sense. But yeah, go back to normal, guys. Team Elf.
let's not get too silly. Game's not
Yeah.
done yet.
They can still get a draw here, Team Kirai.
Might take a miracle, but it's still possible.
Which will send us to a map 4.
Unknown's already been allowed to scale onto the high ground, though. Look at his position. And there he goes up to the backline, and now Glaive's going to be under so much pressure.
It's very
Good kill,
dangerous. And it's going to be Void that goes down first. Gligger, low HP, does go all the way in a spot above her. There's no immortality field to save him. Okay, they do get the res, however, onto Void, so not all in vain. But look at this champion, Unknown. 2 kills onto both, make it
For
free,
more.
onto both supports and the DPS, and this game's all over. Worth a try, GG, says Mudkip.
I'll find counter,
But
please.
to no avail. And it's going to be Team Elf making their way to the finals. And the loser of this, which is Team Kirai, going to be going down into the lower final. A good performance by Spicy Bacon in this buddy game. Beautiful. Lovely bit of tracking, a little bit of headshots there. But I must say, it's very dominant. And if you're the other teams in this tournament, you're thinking, oh, we've got to play them soon. So, Team Kirai, but they do have that second chance in the losers final. So, we'll have to see Team Joby and Team Timoflo, I believe, are still playing. So, we'll see who they sort of play against next. But, Sky, any sort of final thoughts on Team Al's sort of chances in the final, and then also Team Kirai's chances of getting back into the grand final?
I think if that doesn't prove that Team Alpha is the strongest team at the tournament, I don't know what does. Outside of saying Team Cruzzy yesterday, I personally thought that Team Alpha were always the second strongest team at the tournament. Obviously, Team Cruzzy didn't make it out of groups. Team Alpha looking very, very strong. First is worst, second is best. That is what they say. But Team Alpha have looked amazing. They've, like I said yesterday, they don't have a weak spot on their team. Every player on their team is just performing across the board. When one player slacks, another player's there to pick up the pieces. And that's really difficult to play against, because in these kind of tournaments, when there's a little bit less synergy, sometimes there's a weak link you can exploit in each team. But that just doesn't seem to exist for Team Alpha. You can't outplay them because they can't be outplayed
Yes.
in this kind of tournament. So Team Alpha, I'm not surprised to see them in our final. Team Kirai, they will be against Team Joby or Team Timid Flow. Next up, Team Alf did drop a map to Team Joby on the way here, but it might have just been a warm-up game. It was the first game of the day. Team Kirai did manage to beat Team Timid Flow 3-2, but I don't know. I think I wouldn't count out Team Timid Flow in particular just yet because I would back Team Timid Flow against Team Joby. We saw them beat Team Joby 3-2 or 3-1
Yep.
yesterday
3-1.
to just about book their ticket to the playoffs today. But I don't know. I think the rematch between Team Kirai and Team Timoflow might
Could be
go
fun.
the other way this time. I think it might go to Team Timoflow this time. Team Kirai, they looked good at certain parts in this game, particularly on Lijiang, I would say more than anything, because the next two maps, I think they just kind of fell down. I think maybe there was a bit of mental boomage from them. I think they realized as well, it's like, oh, we needed to win Lijiang. We banned Vendetta on this map, and now man, we have to go against Vandana every other game. And then when they
Yeah.
lost Rialto, I think it just kind of all went out the window
Yeah.
for them. I think all the tricks were out their playbook. You know, what I mean, I think they ran out of tricks.
I think
But
the sheet was fully utilized, if I'm being honest. I think there was nothing left on the sheet.
yeah, the Chat
No.
GPT sheet. There's no, like, give me maybe ask Grok or something. I don't know. Maybe ask another chat bot. See if they have anything to say. But
Maybe ask the devs. I think that could
maybe,
be
yeah,
the
maybe ask the devs what they were thinking when they designed a character like Vendetta or what kind of thing they were on. That might be smart as well. I mean, that 1v1 in the corridor. A DPS hero would beat a Morga in a 1v1 in a corridor. Like, I'm gonna crash out. Like, it is so ridiculous. I mean, Gligger sent a message in the chat that said all stupid hero or stupid champion,
Yeah,
and she's
he
stupid.
is.
She's absolutely ridiculous. So, commiserations to Team Kirai, but they do have a second chance to get back into the finals, and anything can happen. Even though this was a confident display from Team Alf, that doesn't mean that they're unbeatable. Definitely not by
Absolutely.
Team Timoflo, but definitely not by Team Joby, and definitely not by Team Kirai. I think any of our teams could make a surprise. Buff Vendetta, I'm not even going to
The
respond to that.
lunatic, I think.
A hot take. I mean, this is maybe like the hottest take ever. But yeah, commiserations to Team Kirai, but we could see them in the final based on the fact that they've already beaten Team Timoflo.
Absolutely. And we will have a little bit of a break. Just sort of a wrong opinion, though. We will go
Sorry,
to a
no, just
little
an
bit of a break.
opinions can be wrong.
They can be wrong.
Can be
They
wrong.
can absolutely be wrong. Um, we're just going to go to a little bit of a break. However, though, stay tuned as we do have more of the playoffs today coming up. So we'll see you in a little bit.